wij onszelf voorstellen, want dat is natuurlijk veel minder belangrijk, willen we jullie eerst voorstellen aan onze fantastische finalisten. Chong?
Ik ben geen finalist, maar
Nee, maar jij moet ze voorstellen.
Ja, goed. Mijn naam is Chongo. Ik ben jullie speaker vanavond, samen met zus. Dus wij gaan jullie begeleiden door de finale heen. Dus als jullie willen klappen, doe dat. Als jullie willen aanmoedigen, doe dat ook vooral. Dus we hebben jullie hard nodig. En laten we er een mooie show van maken.
Chong, wie is onze eerste vrouwelijke atlete vanavond?
Jenja Kasbakova.
All the way from Ukraine. En dan all the way from Utrecht, ja zeker, Jens de Lauw. Jens, uit ons eigen stadsie. Kom lekker hier staan, Jens. Kom hier naartoe. Heb ik voor jou een plekje.
En met de dames, all the way from Canada, Alana Yip.
En uit Spanje, Sergio Vardasco.
And from Italy, we have Camilla Moroni.
En een stukje uit ons zuiden, onze onderbuurtjes, Hannes van Duizen. Uit België. Welkom ook aan u, Hannes.
En onze eigen klimster vandaag in de finale, Lin van der Meer.
En uit Frankrijk, Sam Avezou. Sam Avezou. Auw.
En from Serbia, Stasia Geo.
En onze best gekwalificeerde heer, knalhard door de halve finale heen, Mark Brandt.
We zijn bij de heren nog even vergeten, Nimrod.
Oh, excuses. Op de nummer 3, Nimrod Marcus. Laten we het goed maken met een extra hard applaus. I'm so sorry, Nimrod. You are most welcome here at the number 3. Thanks so much.
En de laatste dames, als best gekwalificeerd voor vandaag, Lisa Klem. En dit zijn jullie finalisten voor vanavond.
2025, let's go with that.
Right, well, climbing is underway, and we've got our first athlete out onto the stage.
Nice.
This is Genya Kazbakova from Ukraine. Made it into the finals, Josh. She's the first athlete to have a go at this slab. So there she is, standing on stage. Not quite sure where the boo was for there, not for her, I reckon. So, first athlete out. And important flashes, quick sends if possible. And there is Jens de Loo from the Netherlands. So we're underway, they're turning facing the wall. The men's have got that overhang, the women start with the slab and will be flicking between the action as we get going here.
So yeah, this is the very powerful one. And that was the mono, that it looked like he was crimping, but I wasn't quite sure. It doesn't look like a full mono.
He makes that jump. You were saying that jump didn't look too bad.
It's the jump after. So if they stick that move, because the arrival hold is not terrible, I think that the last move is easy. And that's like the last hard move of the boulder. So she did the first move into the zone, got the zone, that's the first hard move, and then when she fell here, that was the second hard move of the boulder.
And you're one of our World Cup athletes, she's used to the pressure. Now that's a crimp, and then he's dodging the mono. So the mono, because there's a crimp above that mono, like a little edge, didn't seem to be using it.
Yeah, and so this is the part where I don't know if you're supposed to go up to the pocket and then do like a heel toe on the start hold and then come into the mono and then jump out of it, or maybe go to the pocket and throw your feet in front of you to then go feet first. It's hard. They've obviously previewed together. They're trying to figure it out, but they're gonna figure it out now one at a time.
Right, here she is again on that jump. We flick back Oh, Jenya just misses that jump up. So that's the tricky move. And what makes it difficult to stick that?
So it looks like, and again, I just didn't look at it very closely, but it looks like the hold that to me looked like a jug is only actually a jug on the one side. So when you're aiming and you're doing a dynamic move to get the top of it's actually quite bad, which is why it's hard to stick. But then once you get your hands on it, again, I think that the last one's not going to be easy, or it will be easy, but we'll see.
Well, we've got a split screen action here. No clock on the screen at the moment. Hopefully we'll get that sorted for you. The athletes have got a couple of minutes left, and it's worth talking about time now because this is a different style of format, a bit more old school, the 4+ rule. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so the 4+ rule is actually like one of the, again, more favored formats of basically all the competitors, and it means that if you get on the wall at 3:59, nice, she hit exactly, and look how easy that last one was. I love being right like that, but she killed it. So third try.
Great from her. You can see at the top of the wall, after she made that jump, she just leaped up to finish things off. So yeah, an easy end.
Super happy. Again, so it's the 4+. If you get on the wall with 1 second left on the clock, you're allowed to finish that attempt. If you get on the wall with 10 seconds left, you're allowed to also finish that attempt. But basically, it means if you're on the wall and the timer expires, you can finish that attempt.
Yeah, and it can be quite exciting. We have had instances in the past where the athletes stay on the wall for a long time. That's one of the reasons they stopped it, in fact, is just you couldn't predict. What is he doing there?
I finally figured out what that mono is. It's because you're supposed to split grip it. So 3 fingers go in the pocket and your thumb goes in the mono. So it is technically a mono on a boulder, but it's a cheeky mono because it's a split grip, and I actually now like it.
I didn't spot that at all, I'll be honest, I didn't see it. Okay, so big span for the hands there in order to get that thumb into action. Hello everyone who's watching us. You've missed the preamble, but we're into the competition itself. If you want to see me and Sean talk some rubbish, talk to some athletes, do check out the beginning of the show when this is finished. But right now we're here in the commentary box, and we're on the first athlete out with 19 seconds to go. And this is where we could see this 4+ thing. And it makes a difference to resting, doesn't it? Because you don't need to get going to complete the boulder within the time. You can wait to the last moment.
It's exactly that, and it's really good because this last try, you try so hard because you know it's your last try.
So there's the timer. Sadly, he couldn't stay on the wall. The reds turn light, so no top. The ends below. The top for Jenya Kazbekova. And next up, one of your teammates is about to come out, Sean. Alana Yip. Alana looking very relaxed here this weekend, very chilled out.
Yeah, she's obviously been training a bunch, and these early competitions are great again for testing. Like she hasn't been in a competition for however many months, and we're doing 3 in a row. But here she's super stoked. She's in finals. She didn't climb especially well in semis. I was talking to her a little bit, but she climbed well on certain boulders to do it. She was a little bit frustrated by only getting zone on 2 and 3. But very happy and almost relieved to be in finals, and so she's going to try really hard.
So Sergio Verdasco, he gets that big pinch that we were talking about, sticks the move, first go, gets the right foot through, and then this is an awkward move out, gets a toe, and he's aiming for those crimps. The top one is the best, but it is blocked. And there's a big lick there that it's quite blind when you're underneath it like that.
Yeah. And it's a really cool move by the root setters, basically. I don't know if you grab the other one with your right hand and then campus, or go again and bring the other hand underneath, foot out right, and a hard move to the finish.
Yeah, this is very good. I think it might be this flash attempt.
So the front flag to finish. It's a cool boulder. So it looks like too, the last move is not crazy hard, but to get into that position, to get those hands sorted out and those 2 little ones before, that's the hard part.
So Alana is into the first really tricky move of this awkward jump that kind of barn doors you off. Quite slow and static almost up to that.
Yeah, and it's hard because when Jenya did it, it's all about that getting your weight over your hips, and when you're standing up, to not be leaning back, which is the hardest thing in the world.
So Alana takes her time, 2 minutes 26 on the clock. With that +4, it means she can rest longer. Hello to everyone watching us back at home. Hope you're enjoying the first big international comp of the year. From now on, things just ramp up in terms of intensity. Alana into the corner. Easy first couple of moves, but this is where things get difficult. You can see just eyeing it up. Now this is one of those positions with the 4+. She could stay in that corner for quite a long time when that buzzer goes.
Yeah, you totally can, and it's funny because like the athletes that did that kind of ruined it for all of us. Just saying. But no, it should be in the rules where basically in the final boulders, the route setters shouldn't set something like that if it is a 4+, or the IFSC adds some other one where an attempt can't last for more than 90 seconds. Like, it's very rare that we see someone climb for 1.5 minutes. Make it 2 minutes. It doesn't really matter. But it's funny because a lot of competitors even like make it 3+. Like 3 minutes plus your last try. Make it 2+. Like, we don't care. We just really love the plus. The excitement of being on the wall with no time left, and even for the crowd, like everyone loves it. So I'll keep fighting for that.
You do that, Sean. I hope. Well, I've never commented on a competition, on an IFSC competition with that 4+ rule. Obviously, the local ones. Alana, what's she using for her left hand?
I'm just crimping the edge of the wall. Just found a little seam and. Oof.
That seemed to work. Got her a bit set up for that jump. So nails in action there as Alana finishes the boulder. A little shake of the head. I think she should have thought she should have got it earlier, but she's got plenty of time now to go back with a minute to go.
It's hard too because they know that the competitor before them topped the boulder. They can roughly guess that it wasn't a flash because of how quickly it was. They're thinking, okay, maybe it took 3 or 4 tries. So when you fall on the boulder, you're like, okay, it is hard, but I still need to be able to do it. And so it's just like right away, it's just that's the hard mental part of the competition.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd cheering. Although the athletes are kept isolated, they'll definitely be able to hear. So we're watching a replay here of Alana. Up to the top, no feet, easy peasy for her at the end, and gets her comp off with the top. Right, next athletes coming on. For the men, it is going to be Hannes van Dyssen, and for the women, Camilla Maroney. And Camilla, I've loved watching her in recent years come from that youth circuit into the senior circuit. She looks like she belongs on the biggest of stage, and she looks strong. Here's Hannes.
Hannes gets right on. Oh, 2 fingers. Oh, it does it though. Look comfortable on that move too.
Yeah, a little bump, and now he's got to get those toes way above his head. 1 toe locked in. And remember from here, completely blind on those crimps, and no tick marks allowed in these competitions. Sometimes the route setters will add one, especially in league comps.
The first. So he's opted not to bump yet. Looking at it.
That left hand is terrible. It's the worst hold on that route. If he's looking for the cross, which he is.
Oh, and you can see it there, which kind of confirms what Matt was saying. Is the first one's so bad, you really need to bump and then come in to the bad one with your right hand.
So some people are saying Alana's just done a 2mm seam crimp. So what's more insane, Alana's 2mm crimp or Brooke Rabitu's bolt foothold finish? Both unique, let's say that. Right, Camilla eyes up this jump into the corner. Now this could be a good opportunity to explain the zones for people who don't know, because we can see it there, zone, red marker, that's the first scoring opportunity.
Yeah, it is, and so you only have to control the zone with one hand, but you do have to use the hold. So there she kind of brushed it, they wouldn't actually give it to her yet. So you do have to grab it, and then now that she's kind of moved around on it, she would get it. Whereas if you touch it and then you fall, you're not supposed to get it. And it's a really tricky rule because there are only a certain, there's only a certain situations where you can actually touch the zone and you really can't move, but it's tricky. Oh, feel it.
Well, way better. He didn't have those toes, which meant he could bring the cross through more easily.
Yeah, really interesting way to do that.
Well, no toes could be the way to go on that.
Yeah, basically just completely, basically skipped the toe, the feet first, basically did the hard first move, heel hook, and then straight up with his left hand. Left hand, right hand? I forget. One hand. One of them.
Camilla having a few problems through this, and I always think it's a bit tough to start with a slab, especially one with a jump in it, because it can throw some people off. I know some athletes hate a slab to start things.
It is hard, but it's so common too that when we start with one, we're like, yeah, okay, we start with a slab. And it's funny because you warm up for everything, and then you're like running around on your feet and doing these little jumps. And
yeah, Camilla having a few problems with this. And it's always this moment in a comp where you realise that the moves you thought were easy maybe are a bit trickier for some. skipping across, less than a minute, but she's got that 4+, and we know there's a corner, so if she works it out and manages to stop, she'll give herself a little bit more time here. This is where balance comes into play. It's awkward, you're going to be barn dooring off. She wants to find something with that left hand, you can see it creeping around. Alana got to the top of the wall where the crimp was, above that zone marker.
It's so delicate. She knows she needs to bring in the left foot. And just palming her left hand against the wall to stop the barn door, and it was working.
See a bit of frustration from Camilla there. Falling off a slab, it's just one of those things. So often nothing to do with strength, and you just pop off in a sab at the bottom of the wall. You can see what she was thinking. Well, she's got 8 seconds, and she's going to finish things off, so didn't need the extra time. And our first athlete not to top that boulder.
Funny enough, she might actually not know that it's 4+. Just from her body language on that last try, she was actually kind of stressed about the time. And then she didn't try it the last try at the end. Hopefully she figures it out, because it's huge actually, especially in this format.
Right, next up, Lynn van der Meer from the Netherlands. Local favourite, got a big reaction, and then Nimrod Marcus there he is for the men from Israel. Now, a few people are commenting that perhaps they don't know about the 4+. They will have been briefed on it, but when you're an IFSC athlete like, oh, sorry, but what a strength from Nimrod there.
Wow, with the hand cut too, and so much strength in the left arm there.
Yeah, just kind of caught the one arm. Right, he's gone for the toe method. And this, pop the foot. And immediately asked for a brush from our brush team. If you caught the interviews we did earlier on, we did speak to the brushers. Definitely a group of people who don't get enough attention. As Lynn van der Meer on the left of your screen starts to work out this coordination move, I guess we could call it.
Oh yeah, for sure, coordination. And it's hard because you have to get the coordination part, but you have to stop and then put your hips again into the wall. And that's the hard part, because the coordination, whenever you're running like that, you want to lean away, so if you slip, you don't like scrape your face down the wall, but here you have to put your face really close to the wall and hope you don't slip.
So Nimrod's having a long rest as he looks upwards. I think he thought he got quite close on that. Lynn's still struggling with the first sequence. He's having a big look at that zone hold. Let's see if he can catch that again, because I think it was more of a mistake, perhaps, that left arm. Gets the pinch, sets himself for the jump. More in control this time.
Oh, he looked straight up too.
He's going to karate campers.
Tempted.
So went out to a foothold, which is now going to have chalk on it, which could be interesting for the athletes coming afterwards. They might think it's a handhold. People are asking about the 4+ thing. 4+ thing, a little bit different. It means that the athletes, if they get on the wall before the 4-minute buzzer goes, they can stay on the wall. As long as they don't touch the ground, they can keep climbing theoretically for as long as they want. Crowd really getting behind Lynn there. She gets closer. 1:48 on the clock, learning the moves. And again, Nimrod just resting. I thought he was going to camp us up to the crimps.
Well, it was funny because obviously Hannah straight before him got his heel on and then went straight up. And so when I was looking at him about to campus, it looked like it could totally work. And so if he gets his heel on, then he would actually be doing it the same way. Decided to go to the foothold. We'll see what he does here. Probably the toe hook method again, because we know it works too.
So up he goes blind, misses it the first time. Toes still staying. And now he needs to bump again, upgrades the toe. He's thinking about a cross through.
That was really smart too. He flipped his right hand from an undercling to a reverse undercling just to get higher, and just barely didn't get that little bump with his left hand.
Those bumps, I find when I'm personally climbing, that those are the kind of moves that burns me out quite a lot, because you've got to reuse the same arm.
It's super hard too. You're not moving more than a few inches, and yet it's so hard.
36 seconds. Nimrod is likely to wait right until the last couple of seconds here and give it one last go. Lynn cleans the zone hold. Let's watch a replay of this.
So here, he flips his right hand around. Really hard to see because his body's in the way, but he flipped it from an undercling to a reverse undercling before the bump.
And look at his head here, because it shows that you can't really see, the wall really kicks up. Got his fingertips on it, but not quite enough to make it work. So with 5 seconds to go, Nimrod's in. Now, it's interesting for Lynn, because if she made it into that corner, she could have stayed there. But now you see this 4+ in action, Nimrod can carry on climbing. Oh,
Caught himself. Wow, go straight to the second one.
oh.
No, that's a hard move.
Hard move, and changing his beater as well for that last attempt. I thought he would have stuck with what he was practicing.
Yeah. Maybe he just thought he was on the wall too long and he was just getting too tired.
Well, we move on with Sam Abazou, second to last athlete out. And Stasha will get a big reaction from the crowd. When I was chatting to them, a lot of them were saying that was their favourite climber. And I think it's something about Stasha's personality. You could see her personality at all times, regardless whether she's angry or happy.
Yeah, that's really true.
Stasha's good at these kind of movement-based problems. Blows the holds, knows she's got the time here, doesn't need to rush it. And then Sam Abazou, well, I'm expecting him to be pretty special on this kind of a boulder. Got the thumb in, remember, what we thought was a mono is a pinch. So strong.
Stasha flashed straight to the zone too.
Stasha's setting up for a huge jump here, but she wants to get that right foot on.
Sam went back and forth almost on those 2 holds. It looks like he's gonna, let's get his foot on.
Sam looks like he's got so much time, as does Stasha on the left. As she gets it done, that's a flash for her. And that is a big statement. Some people seeing her as the favourite, and Sam Abazou as well gets the top done. So that's 2 out of 2 from our top 2. So we're about to see Lisa Clem come out and Mark Brand, both from Netherlands. And Lisa Clem, or let's see a replay of Stasha, up with the left hand, that left leg wildly swinging. She held the barn door, and then from there, as we know, simple to the top, jugs all the way.
Yeah, it's one of those moves where Stasha's height, it helps because when you're trying to stand up like that, she just did it so well to get her hips over her foot and even kept the foot on, didn't really have to jump too much to it, and then was just perfectly in control hitting the hole just after that zone.
Well, after a few no tops, we've seen a double flash there from both the athletes, and Sam is being ushered somewhere. Lisa is in the middle there with the Mad Rock t-shirt on, just waiting to compete, keeping herself warm. People are asking what the conditions are like in the gym. Good question. It's actually a bit chilly down there, but it does heat up, especially when the athletes start shouting, so when the crowd starts shouting. So Mark Brand on the right, there is Lisa on the left. Now this is going to be fascinating because Lisa, 4 out of 4 flashes. Was it just luck? Was it just one of those brilliant moments you have at an athlete sometime, or does she have the class and the potential to win this competition? Well, we haven't got the flashes, but Lisa is underway. Mark, very tall through these. Ooh.
Oh, his hand popped like instantly. That was crazy. Like.
Lisa, once again, her second attempt. Not quite getting there. Apologies, I said the Netherlands. I meant Netherlands. Sorry about that. Someone pointed that out on YouTube. It's the hard thing about YouTube comments is you can immediately tell your mistake. You don't get to think about it until later.
The Netherlands. Isn't it the Netherlands?
I thought it was, but someone's complaining about it. Matt, it's the... Did I say Netherlands? Maybe it's that. Maybe I didn't say the.
Right, okay.
My mistake, everyone. Apologies about that. Well, Lisa is in the corner. Really needs a top here if she's going to keep in contact with the winners, and we'll show the score after Lisa competes here. Well, after Lisa or Mark finishes.
Good palm. Gonna get to this move. So it's gonna be right foot up, and then a little pop.
Does it in one movement, beautiful from her, finishes things off, does what she needed to do, and if she was feeling any nerves, I think that might settle things down a bit. 3 attempts?
Yeah, it was two or three attempts, I think. Yeah, 3 attempts, sounds about right.
Right, well, that will settle her down. Mark, meanwhile, has got to finish things off here.
Interesting too, because she didn't flash the zone. So Jenya and Alana and Sasha will all be ahead, but they all have, well, Sasha has obviously the flash, but then the rest of them actually have 3 tries. All of them, I think.
Yeah, so really close here. Look at that core strength from Mark as he bicycles his legs in the air. And look at that height, he found that much easier. Is he going to go for the bump? I think he wants to cross through with the right.
Kind of needs the bump though. Actually looked pretty solid doing that too, and if the second hold is a lot better, once you get it, you still have to put your foot out right and still do the last move off the hold that's bad. So it's hard, it's tricky. It still might not be over if he does that move.
Well, Mark is 1:16 on the clock. Do say hello in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all the usual YouTube stuff as we watch Mark cross through. He came pretty close there. Didn't seem to get as tangled up when he brought the right hand through as we've seen other people doing. Had a bit more room.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm really curious just what the holds feel like. Because it seems very natural to go up with your right hand, but we know that it's better to go for the bump again, so tricky.
Oh, not using the toe system, now gets the toe in. Oh, and he goes all the way.
That's better. Come in.
Well, that's an example of using your height to the advantage, isn't it? It's not an advantage, just he's worked out how to do it. Nice finish from him, just needs the match.
Good shot.
Well, the green light goes on to indicate a top. He doesn't know which way to go. We can't help him, but he's out anyway. And that is our first boulder done. So Jenya comes onto the stage, as does Jens Delu. There she is, announced to the crowd in darkness at the moment. The lights will be switched on. And here we go, our first look at boulder number 2. Of course, we went through it before the show, but if you've just joined us, it's a run and jump start for the men, and possibly a few ways of doing this beginning, maybe.
Do you think it will stop in the corner?
Sean is adamant there's a corner stop here. Let's see. And we didn't get to the corner on that one. We will still. A lot of people loving the brush stroke. Jenya coming up to the zone.
And yeah, for the women, tricky, powerful. It's 2 moves, and then you have to throw your feet out, similar to the men's boulder, where you're going a little bit feet first, and then you have to get your feet all the way out right and do a weird press that I know would be extremely hard for me to do on the last move, but I think these women will do it quite nicely.
I was quite surprised how good the holds are on women's number 2, but it's the lack of feet that are quite
Yeah, it's exactly
problematic.
that. A lot of them are basically underclings or the zone's like a big shoulder, and to get from there all the way to the top, your foot's going to go way out right, and you have to go through that whole press.
Keep an eye on Jens here. There we go, stopping in the corner. You called it.
It's crazy too, because I didn't expect them to like climb into it. I expected it to be a jump into it, but I don't know if it's because he's taller or if that's like the way that they said it. Like, this looks very normal for like kind of groveling your way through. He's going to want to get his right foot here and face the crowd, give a little wave, and it'll be a little bit easier.
He's picking his own foot up there. Just, it does help. I know it looks bizarre, but honestly, try it. It changes the boulder there, doesn't it? Because it makes it from a kind of speedy thing into almost a slab climb. You know, they're tiptoeing their way across, and now he's got to do it all again. He has another
so
go.
hard. And I was gonna say, it looks like you can almost get your right foot up first before that jump. Oh, on the start of this women's boulder, it looks crazy hard.
Yeah, so both athletes come a bit unstuck in the middle of this boulder. 1:46. The 4+ rule is going to help Jens there. He knows that if it comes down to it, he can stop in that corner, shake out, take his time, and he's doing that slow method, so pressing out with the right hand, getting into the corner. Much easier from him that time.
Yeah, and he can just barely touch the corner and then get his right foot up, and yeah, it's a great way to do it. I'm really curious if it's a face out here, because if you put your right foot to this, you face out to the crowd, and then when you do the jump, you're swinging, so your left foot might actually hit that triangle up, and then you would actually be set on the jump. He was really close the first time, so I feel like he'll be able to adapt and just do this jump also facing up. There you go. And the last one's not a gimme, but I'm curious how hard it is.
Yeah, kind of an undercling, but the feet are bad. He's got his left foot on a volume. He's going to try to rock up on that heel. He has a screw on that volume, I think, for the left foot.
So this one, I believe, is a move where you have to commit 100%.
And the thing is, committing 100%, let's say you do that as a run and jump. You know, it's a couple of seconds and you jump to the top. The way he does it makes that move even more committing.
Yeah, that it was kind of like that I saw. So the next hold's for sure an undercling, and I don't know if you want to get your foot up at the same time, or again, that's one of those moves where you just have to feel it. And he's definitely going to count it down and then give it one last try.
Yeah, both the athletes. Actually, not both. We've only got one climbing at the moment. If your hands aren't sweaty watching this, they should be. With 3 seconds to go, he's on the wall, but he can take as long as he wants. I thought he might even take a chalk bag into the corner there. Right, so he's done everything but the final move, which he really just needs to commit 100% to now. You can hear the crowd almost holding their breath. The floor is lava. Sticks the first jump. Will he use the heel? Will he just boost? Oh, he's... You can see the angle of that. There's not a lot on the top of that two heel hook on. It's kind of blocked on purpose.
Okay. Push. Oh, his foot pops just at the end.
My shoulders were screaming. I'm sure yours are as well, being injured like that.
Especially on that right shoulder. Yeah. Something I don't want to do right now.
No, those press moves, horrible if you've got a shoulder issue. Well, he's hit the ground, so that's the end of his round. No tops. Let's watch a replay of that. Watch his left foot. There's the pop.
And that looked solid. That's probably the way to do it.
All right, Sergio Verdasco comes out. He had a fairly quick send of his first problem. And then Alana, big smile to the crowd. She got a top on Boulder 1 as well.
And she's laughing. I don't know what she's laughing about, but definitely smiles on her face.
Right, this would be interesting. As a route setter, he's obviously seen the run and jump. Has he seen the other method? Perhaps it's not running. Maybe it's just straight creeping across.
Yeah, that looks nice.
And
Alana's made it through the opening moves. Jenya couldn't do it.
So left hand on the crimp, then she gets into the zone. She should get the points for that.
It's crazy too, because she hasn't used that foot out left, and the way she's doing it, she won't really use it.
Cuts loose, holds it, and now the final big press. This is her flash go. Sergio's as well, flash attempt. Into the big shoulder.
Oh, big press. Little foot pop there. Oh, what's he gonna do? Wants to get that wrap, but yeah. Just doing it slow. Here we go. Oh, and the foot pop.
I didn't have a chance to see if there's any dual text on that hold, or on the foot, or maybe it's just so small that you can't get it, but whatever, it is causing problems for some of them. And Alana, I looked away and missed it. What happened?
I think her foot popped, but she might have just tried to rush it a little bit because she's kind of shaking her head like, oh, I just, did something wrong. So because she fell in the last move too, like I wouldn't be surprised if she waits almost another minute and a half and just give this one last try.
Well, Alana sits with the lights behind her, shadow on the wall. And Sergio is back into the corner. Came so close in his flash go.
Straight away.
He almost went for the pinch there.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Oh, not allowed to do that, but that's okay. technically every time he jumps to try, but
Is it really? So if you jump up to brush a hole?
because you're not allowed to leave the ground to brush a hole. Yeah. You're also not allowed to use your own brush, but those are IFSC rules.
I feel like I need to reread the rule book there. I did not know that was a thing. So
Yeah.
Harry, if you're standing there sort of jumping up and down in excitement, that's like 4
Fine.
attempts straight
No,
away.
it's only if you touch the wall. And because you're
okay.
touching the brush that touched the wall, that's when you're not allowed to do it. Whereas if you jumped up and blew on the hole just to get rid of the chalk, that's allowed. Which is funny because I've done that tons of times at competition, and then someone's the judge is like, "Oh, there's a try." I'm like, "It's not." Respectfully, it's not.
Respectfully, be quiet, sir. Or lady. Right, here we go. Sergio, eyeing up the big move, sets himself.
He is going for the pinch, and I think Jens had it right where going for the shoulder, whether he goes for the wrap or the whatever. I think the wrap is actually the way to go.
With the wrap though, do you lose a little bit of distance on the left hand?
You actually gain a little bit of distance, but it's harder because you have to get higher for it to be usable. It's it's weird. Like 'cause when you have the shoulder, you can lock off, whereas if the other one, you have to use momentum. So the first, he was super close there, and you can just see his shoulders just screaming. And so you have to get really high and almost like you push up right away, and it'll almost be like right away. You can almost put your foot up because you're really in that kind of like iron cross position. It's the vertical iron cross.
Yeah, he keeps going for that pinch. And it's going to leave a lot of chalk up there as well. So again, something the other athletes might see, might think it's a pinch, but we know so far it's the shoulder move with the fingers and then the match.
Oh, now Alana's using that foothold. Changed up her beta too.
Right, sudden death now. He's got a toe hook
Last
to
try
rest.
here, he's resting a little bit. Alana's got the foothold out there. Hopefully that'll help her for the last move here.
Well, this is where this 4+ is exciting. Both athletes almost treating it like a lead competition as they chalk up and shake out. Sergio comes down, no go for him. Alana on the wall, using all of that lead endurance strength that she possesses.
Yeah, foot over, and you do have to press, flip, and then flip. It looks like she's running out of gas a little bit on this.
Yeah, every time she drops down, it's going to cost her a bit, but she can... That's clever work with the
That's
left.
good. Get the foot over. Keep pushing. There we go. It's hard. Keep pressure on that toe and just push.
Bumping the
That's
hands.
it.
Getting
Pushing.
stood up.
She has to flip her left hand.
She can't see that left foot though. Oh, chin in play almost. Now she can see the final hold. Got to press her way into it, but watch
She
that
really
left
needs to
foot.
flip her left arm.
Oh, she's been on the wall for such
There
a
you go,
long
there you go,
time.
there you go.
No! All of that.
She was trying so hard there. We could see the output. She was so close. You got the flip. Needed to just press a tiny bit more. Got this flip here.
Ah, it just wasn't going to go.
Lost it at the end there.
And the thing is she's basically climbed for 5 minutes, not 4. So now she's got to go. She'll have a little bit less rest, but probably not too much to put her off.
It's hard because with this format, you do get a pretty big rest. So, for almost 5 minutes per competitor, there's another 5 competitors. So you're resting for probably almost 25 minutes. With the little change that the route setters need to do too, you're not worried about it. You're only really worried if the boulders after you start flashing the boulder. Because if 4 people ahead of you or whatever flash it, then it's like, oh, now I only have a 10-minute rest. She's most likely thinking because it's a hard boulder, she's gonna be okay. She's just gonna go back, relax, most likely rest for at least 15 minutes.
Camilla Aroni is campusing around, and this is one of those boulders I thought she might be good at. This is her style. Loves the physicality of these moves.
Yeah, she matched too. Didn't even cross to the zone. And again, this is where we're gonna see, you gotta get that foot out right.
So this is where Alana really had her battle.
gonna say it looked like it wasn't quite far enough right, and you could see just at the end it's too far left, and so it slips when you put too much pressure on it. So she's gonna have to figure out a way, like Alana did, to get her right foot a little bit more to the right before starting that last move.
Yeah, Alana did so much with the hands. She just worked her way down the volume. Hannes again going slowly, pressing into the corner. Struggling with that move a bit. The volume he's standing on, there really isn't a lot on it.
No, it's one of those volumes where, okay, that wall is probably vertical, and then the volume is probably 60 degrees overhanging, so you're standing on something that you don't really want to be standing on, and yet you have to put your foot up and walk across, and it's just uncomfortable, you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the camera angle doesn't always show how vertical these volumes are, so it looks like he's almost standing on a ledge, but he's not.
Yeah, and it's something that we practice. We specifically try to practice this, and it's all about putting volumes on the wall and what degree is then too much that you can't stand on, assuming there's no holds for you to take any weight off. Oh, huge, such a quick jump there.
Yeah, a bit of a hybrid. He creeps into the corner, then a bit of running jump.
And right away, actually tried it just with the straight hand in the back, almost was crimping the sloper there, and it was trying it correctly too, going up, trying to do the double shoulder.
This is where Camilla had the issue before, just got the toe.
There you go. You see her readjust with the left foot there to get it deeper with the right. Here we go. Has to get the flip. Has a half flip. Needs to press out that arm. There you go. There you go. Should be better.
So awkward. She's got to go from a face down and turn all the way around and grab with the right hand.
That's hard too, because now it's the problem of her shoulders. So her right shoulder, she needs to get it past that center of gravity through, and as soon as she came out, her weight fell backwards as she was rotating her shoulders.
So close. Let's see a replay. This was the moment.
And as soon as she straightens her arm, her right shoulder is facing the wrong way, and so you have to rotate that shoulder, I guess, you know, clockwise, whichever way that is.
Yeah, it kind of body got in the way there a little bit.
Oh,
we're
there you
see
go.
it
Come on, foot. Nice.
Right,
There you
Hannes
go.
on second top, third top on it. No, Sergio didn't get it. It's the second top.
Yeah, first top for the Boulder too.
Right, Camilla sits in the light. 19 seconds to go. She has an eye on the clock.
Yeah, one last try here. Another 10 seconds and she'll get on.
A lot of people are saying that Camilla has got this if she isn't pumped. Well, let's find out.
She's also really good at lead climbing, isn't she?
Yeah. She's just all round a powerhouse. One to watch out for the Olympics, I reckon, if she can qualify. Straight into the zone. Powerful from her.
I think it'll just be how quickly she can get her right foot over onto that good spot. And I feel like if she gets it well, I feel like she can also, actually right away too, she got it.
Yeah, really solid. That left foot looks like it's standing on something. It's not, and she slips and goes. No top for Camilla. 3 athletes to go, halfway through the second boulder. And we'll update you on the scores in the break between. But Stasha leading the way and Sam Avazu. But of course that will have changed with the athletes topping boulders out, getting zones. But so let's watch this again. That left foot almost had purchase.
Just from the other 2 or 3 tries, getting up into that position at least twice. I think it's just so hard, and even with endurance, I think your body is just, you know, powered out. One-handed catch.
That's the second time he's done that this evening. Caught something with the left arm. Again, he takes a moment to rest on the jug. Oh, made it look simple.
Very well done. You can see the way he's grabbing the last hold too. It's not a full shoulder. It's actually like a reverse pistol grip on the last hold there.
I like the no look at the audience, hype them up rather than the sort of cheeky turnaround.
It's dangerous though. I do have to say it's dangerous because you're a hero when it works, but if you ever fall doing that, you're now the villain.
Or on a highlight reel forever. So you know, there's always a plus. There's always fame to be had. Lynn using a different method, I think here. Matching still, but with legs way more over on the left.
There you go. There you go. Matches the undercling with the foot out there, and now she should be able to match the zone and bring her feet back towards the right.
Right, now she rests, and is a bit of a lead specialist, so this kind of a resting position for her, she'll be used to it. She's got something back, used that chalk bag, right foot kicked over, straight into the press for her.
Her foot's not great on the right foothold, but
problem is she can't adjust that now unless she drops back down, which she does.
She does drop back down. If she can get it, you know, a good 4 or 5 inches more to the right, and basically to the middle of that, you're a little bit farther out to the wall, and I think it's a bit better.
Yeah, and she's going to have to stay on. 12 seconds, shaking out. Look at this. Someone will give her a harness. Flicks out, right foot in a similar position to before. Not quite far enough, and it doesn't work.
Oh, it's hard. Like I can feel how tired they are just from going through all those beginning moves and then getting to a position where at the end you need still to have that power and to be able to turn, push. And then once you get the last hold, it might not be good. You still have to match.
That was the last moment for Lynn. No top for her. Zone, of course. I think everyone's got the zone so far on this. But I'm saying that having not looking at the scoreboard, so I'll be quiet. Stasha runs on. Now, if these two do well on this boulder, I'll be back into the top spot. Yeah, someone's commenting that I've never seen a woman doing the hype thing for the crowd. Now, I disagree. I've seen the hype thing from quite a few female athletes over the years, so they definitely do it, just haven't tonight. Sam, a bit more dynamic on the start of that.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it when they're on the ground, obviously before their last attempt. I've definitely seen it lead climbing. Before matching the finish, I'm almost positive that we've seen it, but it is more common for men. Or men, certain men.
Stasher on her flash attempt.
Didn't even flip the arm yet.
Very
Is she
spread.
tall?
She's got the left foot down low.
Yeah, and she hasn't flipped that left arm to a press yet. Figuring out, oh, the wrap? Oh, it might work.
Right foot, solid connection from her. Sam Avazu's eyes up the jump. Stasha falls, Sam falls. Yeah, Stasha tried a different method. She was kind of in a splits position, left foot down low, and then you could see her figuring it out, wanting to go over to the right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Her left foot was all the way on that left red foothold when you actually need it somewhere in the middle to then push towards the right, because now she's almost too much in a splits position.
That's our crowd. They're packed in the space between the boulders here. There was plywood laid on the carpets to protect it. Sam Avazu into the corner once more. Gets the right foot, now he'll get himself set up for the jump. Meanwhile, Stasha is resting. She was on the wall a long time on that attempt and want to get it done quickly.
This looks better for Sam. I feel like he'll be able to do it this try.
Yeah, easy in, but now let's see how he's read this move. Wraps.
Goes for the wrap. Nope, goes back. Aim for the cup, I think. Nope, goes for the shoulder, but it works. It's a top for Sam.
That was a long way for him as well. Grabs the top of the wall to celebrate, and that should put him back up at the top after that first flash. So the brushers get busy cleaning men's number 2. Stasha. Now, she did have some bad skin. We talked in isolation. She showed me her taped fingers. She's got 2 of them on the right hand taped up. And you can see her immediately looking down at them. Said it was more preventative than anything else. But clearly something she is thinking about. Stasha want to have another go here, give herself time to rest, and then get back on the wall. This is where Stasha, I know she's been working on this side of her game. When she gets frustrated, she's been working with psychologists and trying to just get that mentality, and it's something she is improving, but you can see the frustration there for her.
And a whole mental game of what to do when your mind is betraying you almost.
I go to pieces just watching here in the commentary box, so the pressure that they've got to go through. And there is a psychological element to any sport,
oh, yeah.
And especially climbing, when it feels like you can be as strong as anything and still fall off boulder problems.
Yeah, it's hard too because you're all alone on the mats. And I'll tell you a story after this try.
Right, Stasha, better. Now we can see the toe hooks. Right hand up. Clock ticks down, she won't worry about that. Foot very low on that boulder on the right. Sorry, on the volume on the right. Now bumps it over.
Has her left foot over there still, and it's hard because you don't get enough weight, but is it enough? Oh, 1 or 2 more inches would be okay, but...
Yeah, she could have got the pinch, she could have pulled in then. Very close from Stasha, that's not a top from her. And she's just talking to one of the judges, I think just getting a scorecard back. Okay, final athletes will come out now. Mark Brand, Lisa Clem. And this does give Lisa a bit of an opportunity to get back into the running. Look how close she came, got the pinch. Oh, heartbreaking in slow motion. Right, so Lisa was in 2nd position. Now, if she can take advantage here, she might jump over Stasha if she does it quickly. That is Mark Brand, he takes his time. Lisa out to the crimp, cuts loose, swings the left over, misses the foot, first time of asking, gets it in now.
Oh, that's good. It's crazy because the first 2 moves are super hard. And obviously this last one.
She keeps looking at the zone, changing that left hand, fiddling with the feet. Gets the match.
Now we'll see who gets the... That would be interesting if you can get it and then get the foot out. I kind of think you need to have the foot out first, and if she gets it farther, this is gonna be hard to do with her foot that close to the left.
Yeah, and that right foot is not secure, it's right on the edge.
Yeah, it looks like she needs to put that foot a bit more to the right to be able to put a bunch of pressure on it and actually try to push right instead of try to go up.
Mark, meanwhile, has been figuring out this sequence. Finds the balance, and now he's got the jump to do. Straight in, and now will he be positive with this? He is. Oh, went for the pinch.
For that pinch, and it looked like it kind of just slipped right away, actually.
Let's see a replay of that. Right foot down the bottom of the volume. Need to really change that. Too far to the left at the moment. Some people are saying it's a pretty tough mantle.
Yeah, it's super tough. It's hard because there's no foot to push against. You lose all your feet because it's out of the roof.
Minute 50. So the last climbers on Boulder 2. And that will be the midway mark to our competition here. Both resting. I've just noticed the light effect on the floor.
Yeah, it's like a snowflake.
Yeah, sort of like an old Microsoft screensaver going on down there. Right, Mark, slow through the first couple of moves. Way more solid than he was before. Just finds the balance in the corner. Now, will he go for this pinch? We've seen no one else make that work yet. He did change the hand position. So he's got two ways of doing it. Probably another attempt. Lisa is waiting a long time to get going. Trying to figure out that bottom sequence. At the start of that boulder, Stasha spent quite a long time looking at it, fell off it a few times before getting back to her high point. Mark rests. I think he'll count down that clock. He knows he can rest in the corner as well. Lisa as well, waiting. 19 seconds left. Mark's in the corner now. Makes the jump out, right? Which one of the two will he use? He's either got the pinch or the shoulder press. There's the buzzer, no falling off from now on. He's going, tried the wrap, thought better of it.
Oh, he was so close to that too. I don't know if it was better to go up with the double shoulder. Like, he looked solid on that for the last two tries. So.
Lisa looking better on the match. Doesn't shake out, spins and immediately gets the right foot on.
And that works, it works. Push with the right, flip it, not too much with the left foot. Oh yeah, she's actually almost like a little bit too high.
Yeah, she's horizontal, trying to find something for that left foot, because she now needs to turn almost 90 degrees on the wall. No top for Lisa. Well, that's 2 boulders done.
Yeah, and that's like why when you're training with your coach, with your friends, like where's that line of when you don't figure something out? And oh yeah, let's take a look at the results obviously quickly.
Well, Stasha stays at the top just via attempts because Lisa is right behind her, and then Alana Yip still in contention, so the top 3, not much separating them. And then Tenya down there, got the top, didn't get the zone on the second boulder. Might that come back to haunt her? And we can see the other 2 got some work to do. So Stasha leading the way, followed by Lisa, but not by much. And then as we move on to the men, Sam Abazu, 2 out of 2, and quick as well. Flashed the first one, 3 attempts on the second. He's followed by Hannes van Dyson, also 2 tops, but a few more attempts. And Sergio Verdasco in 3rd place. And as we go down, lots of tops, but in different places. Nimrod not getting boulder 1 done, but managing boulder 2. Mark, boulder 1, but not 2. So everyone's got a bit of work to do. We've got 2 boulders to go, only halfway through. I don't think the route setters have changed anything, so we might be able to get underway a little quicker, and we are.
Yeah, really interesting for the men. Obviously, those 2 top guys have done 2 boulders, but the next 3 all have 1 boulder, but 2 zones. And so whoever gets even 1 zone over the other person, or a top where the other person can't get the top, they move into 3rd place. And then obviously those 2 people that are in 1st and 2nd, if they fully drop a boulder and they can't get a zone and the others get a whole boulder, then they could be knocked out of those 1st and 2nd places. So it's close, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's setting up for a nice end to this competition. Now this move, as a climber, I looked at this sequence and I thought, I never want to go near that.
It was crazy. I thought the first move was going to be like nails hard, and Jens just made it look super easy. And yeah, he's Jenya way at the top of the last boulder. Oh, that was the toe hook start. Also looked crazy hard. Here, ooh, this is interesting. I would have thought foot out right.
Oh yeah, Jenya pushing. We didn't see how she started things off, but yeah, that start, I thought it was awful, but he's making it look quite easy. But this next, those volumes.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you match, or I think you have to match. Oh, it crimped in the edge. You do have to get your foot to that foothold, the one in that middle of that face. How you get it there, with where your hands are, not sure. But then you are going to get into that kind of double shoulder, like you were talking about, getting into that zone.
Yeah, you're right about the left foot, though. I don't know how you get that left foot up, because if he's laid back in the start of it, his body's kind of to the right, and he's got to get the left over, and it's not a great hold. It's kind of dishy, but small.
Yeah, you start here, and you almost want to like take that double hip, like hope you've been practicing frog pose. And Oh, nice. Right on his bicep. Yep.
He locks it off and gets stood up. But
There you go.
that left foot, the toes are going to be screaming. And just so much weight for it for so long. Elevated door style, pushing it apart.
Would have gotten the zone there though, so he's got to be happy with that. Now, probably rest a little bit more, do some brushing, and figure out how you're going to navigate that zone hole.
Crimps to start off with, cruises through those easily into the zone. This is
Here, she's looking at it. Yeah, there you go. And then match and push. Foot.
a little too quick. You can see it rushing maybe through that last sequence.
She knows what she has to do now, so I actually think she should rest a minute 20 and just go for one more try. Maybe a minute 10 in case you mess up the first move or something, but.
So Jens has got that first sequence down now. Squeezing with the core, he falls. Let's watch a replay of this. So she looked really solid.
And her foot, funny enough, it's the right foot again, similar to that red boulder where they're throwing their foot way out right and they have to put so much pressure on it. They don't need to flip the left hand this time, it's just a standard kind of lock off, a little bit of momentum and get that sloper. But
Yeah, you've almost got to put your thought in your foot, if that makes sense. I think when you're thinking about the foot, you then tend to weight it.
yeah, it's hard. Like you need to have weight on it. You need to be pushing right. Quite hard. There you go. Come on, push, yeah.
So what's pushing her off there? Is it just as she's moving to the right, then the foot goes? Because it looks solid.
It's
and then it
hard. I
seems
think
to
it's
go.
because the hold is not super good, so you can't just put a lot of weight on it, and the foot is kind of far away. If the foot was a foot closer, I think she would have a lot easier time doing it. Or maybe if it was rotated a little more clockwise. So right now it's like you're pushing against like the side of a fridge or something, and you're trying to weight it, but you're just kind of pushing it away from you the whole time.
Well, she had a long look at that hold. Here she goes again. Keep an eye on Jens as well. He falls and that's his attempt done, so our action switches over to the right, no top. The red light goes on indicating they haven't got that done. Well, interesting. Both of those boulders seem doable, seem close. No one quite figuring it out yet. A lot of people are commenting on the lights and the techno playing. Some enjoying it, some saying it's a bit too clubby. I'll leave you guys to work that one out. Let's see a replay again, adjusting that left hand. And always looked a little off balance there.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because she tried it twice in the last minute instead of running down the time and just trying it once. And it's always a tricky balance of, do you leave enough time in case you slip off the first couple of holds, or do you just, risk it all, you just rest another 45 seconds and you have that last burn.
Right, Alana Yip on the right, Sergio Verdasca on the left.
Just hiking the beginning.
He cruised through that.
Double shoulder. And Alana flying up this, get her foot out right, apply lots of pressure. Nice. Looks solid. I think she'll be able to do it.
One move away.
Oh, the flash there from Alana.
Well, that's put her right back up into podium contention.
Flash by Sergio as well.
He made that look ridiculously easy.
He finessed up that boulder, and that is a hard boulder.
There's a moment where his head was buried deep in that crack and I thought maybe he's going to pieces here, but he just held on. That's two flashes, or did Alana take a go? I can't remember.
I think it was a flash and I think it was two flashes.
It was two flashes.
Yeah.
Well, 2 out of 2. Yeah, people wondering why that women's boulder was adjusted. It was just removed for the men's blue boulder that we had earlier. That was put back, so they weren't adjusting anything to do with the actual boulder design. It was just to get the holds out of the way for the men. Hannes van Dyssen, 3 minutes 45, loads of time.
And remember that he's ahead by a boulder, so if he doesn't get zone, it opens the door for Sergio to be on that podium position, and obviously if he gets to the top, he stays in first place.
Right, Camilla, let's see if her shoulders have got anything left in them after the heroics in the other one. This is a big shouldery move out to the slope and now needs to match it. Or will she bump? Oh, creeps into the match.
Oh, another flash on the women's boulder here. And that top part's hard.
Quick send from Camilla, she needed it. She was down towards the bottom of the leaderboard. That will have helped. We'll have a look at the scores after this boulder.
Oh, Crimpton, oof.
Well, Sergio, the slab king, really. If you can call it a slab, I don't know what you call that. Slab-like, with a crack in it. And no, it's not jammable, that crack. Whenever I mention any kind of a crack, I don't really mean a crack, I just mean a space between two volumes. Yep, there we go. A hand fist stack. Someone's asking. No, I don't think so. It's way too flared, way too wide. No jam to be had, I'm afraid. So Hannes by himself after Camilla's flash. And that showed how small that left foot was. Missed it first time. Now gets the toes driven in, pressing underneath that triangular volume. Struggling to get that transition into the next volume.
Yeah, I think Sergio went almost like undercling, just to be able to stand up. And then once he finished the undercling, then went up a little bit higher before getting into the zone.
So Hannes rests and waits. Crack tool, as I knew you would.
There you go, yeah. Well, he gets the zone.
Yeah, that was a good shot to show how much friction is required for this.
That was a crazy move.
Oh.
The speed at which he got his left hand, crimped it, and then came in with his right, and I thought he was going to hold it.
Yeah, and he's wiping that left hand in his t-shirt. Maybe got a bit sweaty. If you've just joined us, welcome to Dockmasters 2023. This is the third time we've run this competition. A little bit of a break because of Corona as we watch Hannes watch that left hand. Oh, it's a big fire, isn't it? People are asking about the music. Is it distracting as an athlete, or is it just not part of your thought process when you're out on the mats?
Usually we only really hear it in between attempts or when we're in the back. Like as soon as we step on the wall here, like to me everything goes white. And I specifically hear people in the crowd cheering me on, but the rest is just a dull hum.
Great shot of the left foot to show how bad it is. Palms with the left, and now he's eyeing the crimp up.
A bit too tired there. He's gonna give one more try.
He's got to be jumped straight back on the wall though. Missed it the first time, gets it the second. Just the toe of his climbing shoes.
Will he change it? They're just kind of go with the same thing here. Maybe a little hip bar. Oh yeah, there you go, there's the hip. A match feet. Oh, match back.
Yeah, it's hard to get that left hand with the right foot on. Oh!
Crazy, you can see the sweat just on his hands on the volume there.
Yeah, that right hand's sliding off. That will have cost him some skin. He's only got one boulder to go though. And we're halfway through boulder number 3. So let's watch that again. I think this is his last attempt. Yeah, didn't get it. It's so unfortunate when he, well, I don't know, call it a dry fire, or sort of a wet fire with the sweat.
Yeah, just I think he did what, 3 tries in the last minute. That's just hard.
Lynn van der Meer back onto the mats. Hasn't had a top in a bit. Easy toe to start off with. Nimrod straight into that left foot. Again, the
We can see
footwork.
undercling too. Now the double shoulder. Let's see what he's gonna do. Foot up, knee. Ooh. It's ugly, but it works.
Yeah, he's trying to get higher on the volume.
Yeah, how did Sergio do this? Yeah, just like that, yeah?
Oh! Looks so casual going up.
Crazy. I thought he was gonna do it. I thought he was just gonna kill it there.
I mean, the left crimp is good. It's from when I looked at it anyway, good in terms of these guys. Good.
I
You know,
thought,
it's
yeah.
Pretty positive.
Maybe he just didn't get up quite high enough and he just didn't get his fingertips over the top of it.
We sort of enter the chess style part of this competition. The audience attention is drawn to the wall. We're all fascinated. Hope you're enjoying it at home. Lynn Vandermeer on the right, Nimrod Marcus on the left. Let's watch Lynn as she eyes up the next crimp.
There you go, got the zone. Yeah, eyeing the foot. There you go. It's almost full vertical. That's why it's so hard to stand on. You gotta get high here.
Yeah, so as you stand up into it, you instead of pressing against it, you have to sort of engage the
Yeah,
foot.
you're trying to engage your toe, but because it's almost full vertical, it's hard. It's pushing you towards the left, but you're trying to go towards the right.
That knee look bomber there from Nimrod once again.
There you go. Nails the crimp.
Well, the hype man hypes them up. Unfortunate fall on that last attempt. I think he would be kicking himself if he didn't get it done the next go. So some quick sends here. Let's watch again. Yeah, just that right foot stuck that time. That right pinch.
It's also crazy because Sergio, Hannes, and now Nimrod, they all have two tops. And so Sam with the top would run out in first place, and if Sam only gets zone, there'll actually be almost a four-way tie for first, at least when we just talk about tops and zones. Obviously those tries are going to be the tiebreaker for now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting coming into the last boulder. It's all to play for everyone. Someone's asking how flared the volumes are in real life. Very flared, the blue volumes, you can see. So not a bad start. Big toe catch there. Nice and steady into the first couple of crimps. Big move up with the left hand, and that was the foothold Sean was talking about. See how it's vertical. From that angle it looks like there's a ledge, it's not.
Pitches higher. Oh, nice, gets it. Still a hard match, and the finish hold is good, but you still have to control the swing.
Then Vandermeer finishes things off.
Gets the top.
Great work from me. I was about to say, no one's dropped it from once they've got the right hand. No one's dropped the match yet. I don't think anyone's
I don't
dropped it
think
yet.
so, no. But it's not a gimme move at the speed they're climbing it.
Right, 2 to go. Sam Mavazu will be out next. Stasho as well. 2 at the top of the leaderboard. Stasha comes out looking focused. Can't see the judge. Finds him eventually. Well, we know how good Sam is on those big, powerful camper-style moves. Let's see what his footwork is on form this evening.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a flash here by Sam.
Immediately spotted the right way of doing that beginning. Look how accurate he is. Matches the volume, pressing out with the palm.
Not fully correct yet, but there you go.
Sean called the flash, and Sam at the moment is playing ball.
Oh, he's gonna go for the double clutch. Does it though.
Right, one move, Sam. Come on, and Sean is a genius. Let's
Wow,
see.
doesn't even put his foot up. He's gonna go straight for the top of his right.
Oh no!
No.
Ah, so close.
Yeah, that's come on, Stasha.
Easy into the first one. Needs to match it, of course, and it's not a gimme. But it is a flat.
Two
flat note.
flashes, yeah.
Yeah.
Flashed 1 and 3 there. So flash by Stasha will keep her in first place.
So Stasher leaves the stage, and Sam came close to a flash as well. Last hole, he just missed.
Now it'll be interesting to see if he rethinks the last move by saying, okay, I fell, but it depends how close it was. He actually was pretty close to sticking it. So if he thinks, yeah, okay, I just need to try harder, he might try exactly the same sequence. Or he might think, oh, actually it was a little bit too hard, maybe I should put my right foot up and go to the finish in the left hand.
Yeah, will he start questioning himself here? Sam worked hard in the French Championships, or French Nationals. A long time to brush that left crimp. He knows how vital that is. It's kind of the only hold on the route apart from the final one. Look how precise he is with that left foot. I wish I could climb like that. Matches now, that's all he's standing on.
Double clutches again, and the last move, trying it again. Right hand up. Try hard.
Foot just smearing on the wall.
Oh, he was better too, but not quite good enough. That's brutal. Yeah, will he go for a third time or will he put his right foot up? That's super hard.
Yeah, when you tickle the hold like that, you think, oh, okay, just a little bit
Just
further,
a little bit
closer.
Just try a little bit harder, like. And he was a little bit better that time too, but.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to have two goes at this because he rested a long time before this one. I think this is only his second. That was his second
try, yeah.
So Sam resting his way through, has another look at the crimp. He's certainly thinking about that top. Maybe he'll change things, but I think he might only get one chance unless he falls and then quickly jumps back on. Now he turned his body a little to the left there, which implies he might think about the right foot.
I think he saw it there, and so yeah, if he's facing away now, he's gonna dry his hands, wait another 20 seconds, chalk, and probably change the way he does the last move. And I hope we see a top here.
Good to see the athlete's thought process. Clock ticks down towards 20 seconds. Here we go. That volume, I honestly thought the first move would be the hardest one, and everyone's just cruising.
No, everyone just cruised it, but
Sticky shoes, it turns out, it helps. High left foot, immediately up, so confident through the bottom part of this route. Hasn't used knees like we saw Nimrod use.
quick double clutch, and he's looking at it. He wants to put in a drop knee actually, but now he's gonna jump.
Oh, this time it
Sticks it
worked.
though.
And a one armour to finish things off. Well, attempt 3, he definitely considered changing that beat and then I thought, you know what, I'll just a little bit higher, a little bit further.
It's almost like he looked at the right foothold and he wanted to put in a drop knee and not lean against it. But he said quickly, he's like, no, I'm gonna jump for it. And better and better each try, so gets a third try, and he'll stay in first place.
Yeah, that's some intelligent climbing from Sam actually. It's impressive to watch him sort of pace himself throughout that. Right, final athlete out, Mark Brand and Lisa Clem will enter. Stasher did herself a load of favour by flashing that first boulder, sorry, the third boulder. Can Lisa keep up with her? We'll get updated on the scores. This is boulder number 3 out of 4. Scheduled to finish round about, well, the climbing round about 9 PM and then the award ceremony will be later. Left hand before the toe, like everyone's done, bumps the hand up, and this is where he started looking a bit shaky before. He's got to get himself into a position where he can pop for that crimp, and it's not going to be from there. Chat, if you're listening, keep talking to us. Say hello. What's your favourite moments of the competition so far? Someone's saying Lisa looks a bit tired. Yeah, she does. And sometimes that's where that competition experience comes in, because she's very young, hasn't had a lot of big comps under her belt, and maybe she's starting to feel the fatigue from yesterday's quali and semis.
It's also just really hard coming out last. She knows the competitors ahead of her have done the boulder. She most likely knows that Stasha flashed the boulder, and so you come out right away, right after Stasha, and you're like, okay, well, I should be able to flash this boulder. And then it's hard, because when you can't get it, and you haven't gotten the zone, then like, do you start to doubt yourself? Then are you doing it wrong, or did you try harder? Am I tired? And so all of these, again, that self-talk just comes into play, and you just have to be like, no, I can do it, and you just have to get back on the boulder.
All right, Mark reaches around, way higher up, better positioned to snatch into that side pull. Right leg's not going to help him, he wanted it on something.
Figures out the double clutch, but didn't commit to it fully.
Yeah, I think he could have, he was thinking about sort of creeping over to it a bit more,
but got the zone. So now there's a 4-way tie for second in the men with all 2 tops, or one top and 2 tops. There you go, 2 tops and 3 zones or something like that.
Yeah, and people asking in the chat about what the scorecards mean. Sean will go through exactly what those blue and yellow markers mean when we see the scoreboard, because it's difficult to talk about it unless it's in front of us. But yes, for people who don't know, we'll go through exactly what everything means when we see it.
15 seconden.
So the photographers all gathered at the top of the wall, audience down below, sitting 600 of them in here. Quite a good after party, I think, as Lisa into the crimps. This is where she's looked uncomfortable before, and she's running out of time now, so cannot fall. Up with the left, makes it work.
Gets the zone. Did you see the foot out right?
But this is the move, it's so easy to drop. Mark falls.
She did it really well though. Hopefully she can match and get that last hold.
Slow in, nearly dropped it.
Wow, what a change. Like, didn't look super strong on her first couple of tries, and then right there, her last try, she rested, almost 2 minutes, and then just knew she had one last try, got the zone, and she actually like destroyed the top of that boulder. Her feet didn't even swing, so when she got the last hold, she didn't even swing.
Well, she's very solid. Route setters will adjust these boulders again. Again, they're not making adjustments to the design of it, it's just to get certain holds out of the way of other boulders. And we're about to see the score. So Sean, we'll be able to see who wins it, but just talk to us about what they mean.
Yeah, so if there's green on the scoreboard, it means that they completed it, and then the number is how many tries they had, and then the yellow is if they got to the zone, and again, how many tries it got to the zone. If there's just a little dash, it means they didn't get. So obviously here, Stasha has 2 greens, has 2 tops, and 3 zones. And you can see it on the right. It does say 2 tops, 3 zones for the 3Z. Then the second 2 is how many tries for the tops, and the last number, that 3, is how many tries for the zones. So then you can kind of go, the visual representation is kind of just nice, because then you see where they got their tops. But if you want the actual score, you look at the very far right numbers, and it's 2 tops, 3 zones, and then 2 tries for the tops and 3 tries for those zones.
So those attempts, that's where we can sort of separate them. I don't know what I'm talking about it. That's how we separate them if they're all draws. So if everyone gets tops, then we go down to the attempts. For Sam Avazu, well, you can see 3 greens for Sam Avazu, way out in front. Sergio just behind. So it's really going to come down to this 4th boulder, Nimrod Marcus after that. And Nimrod being pushed down because of those attempts, because he's got the same number of tops and the same number of zones. That was a really good explanation, Sean, honestly. Like, I try to explain that all the time, and I do a rubbish job of it, so thank you.
It's funny how the green and the yellow is actually a very nice visual representation for how they're doing, and then you get to know exactly on which boulder and how many tries. Before the visual representation was bad, and then whoever came up with this really nailed it.
Yeah, they've done well. Yeah, well, thank you to everyone here at Dock Masters. Brilliant competition so far. Great atmosphere. And all those Dutch climbers out there, thank you for being so welcoming to your gym. Oh, it's us, hello. We don't know when it's going to flick to us, by the way. So, you know, if we're doing something embarrassing, apologies if I'm picking my nose. We've got one final boulder to go here this evening before we're going to name our Dock Masters winner for 2023. My name is Matt Groom. This is Sean McColl. And we've been having a good time up here in the commentary box, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying watching back home. Right, Sean, coming into this fourth boulder, Stash are out in front for the women, Sam for the men, but still got to keep it together because there's a lot to play for here.
Yeah, and it's closer for the women because they all have 2 boulders, and so if one of them can really just send the last boulder, Alana obviously climbs before Stasha, so if Alana can put pressure on Stasha by just completing the boulder, it means that Stasha will have a certain amount of tries to be able to complete the boulder. Whereas on the men's side, if Sam tops the boulder, it doesn't matter what anyone else does, he will be our winner.
Okay, well there you go. Sean has laid it out nicely for us. We're in the final moments of our competition here in Dock Masters. First athletes out, they qualified in last place for the finals. It's a long boulder for the men. Starts down in the cave, comes all the way to the top, traversing from right to left as you look at the wall. Then you're swinging. And this is this interesting downwards dyno that every time I see one of these, I think, hang on a sec, I've read the rules, it definitely says you can't do that, but it is a bit of a sort of, not a grey area, but it could be interpreted perhaps.
Yeah, and again, like, it looks like a downwards jump. It is technically a downwards jump, but the way that it's set is where the weight is going onto your legs, and so it, to me, should be allowed in competition. Whereas if you're going and you're loading your arms, something like that, and it's downwards, it shouldn't be allowed. Again, this is one of those areas where the rules probably need to be a little bit clearer, or there needs to be just more guidelines, or if the people think that it shouldn't be, then those types of boulders should be completely removed.
Yeah, it looks dramatic, doesn't it? But you're right about the injury thing. It's obviously what we want to avoid. Complicated men's boulder. I mean, I look at that and I have no idea how to climb it. Such a big swing.
One thing that makes these swings a lot nicer for your feet is see how her feet are landing on fiberglass holds. That is the #1 thing. You either need to be landing on a volume or fiberglass. Because if you land on, I guess it's like polyurethane, like a climbing hold, like old school, it like hurts because it's so much more dense. It's really about the density of the holds. So as long as you're landing on fiberglass or wood volume, fiberglass volumes, or fiberglass holds, it's like nice because it's almost like it rings, and so basically the density of it, it absorbs a lot of the impact.
Such good knowledge. This is why I love having an athlete here with me, because they can just give these little insights. She makes it work this time and has the zone.
Big jump to the side. I thought she was going to get that right away.
Sort of disappeared into the blackness there.
Yeah, it drives me crazy when I go to a gym and there's some sort of run and jump, and they stop on a polyurethane, and I'm just like, sorry, like I'm not trying that.
So can you feel the shot come through you?
Well, you just like, imagine just jumping on a climbing hold and you do this big swing and you have to stop, and it'll just go through your body, whereas here we watch Jenya. She stops and it looks like comfy. It's super hard, I can tell you that, but at least her feet, like it doesn't absorb through her whole body, and then she still has to stick that hold and stop the momentum, but it looks like a really nice swing.
People are appreciating your insights here. Science class with Professor McColl, someone just commented.
She did it. Oh, and she's actually stopping with her left hand on the arete too. It's sneaky. Where she has her toe, she would stop there with her left hand, and that looked like it was actually a lot nicer too.
Yeah, she might want to drag that left foot across the wall a little bit more to release it. Look at Jens here, shoulders screaming as he tries to get the sloper. He will get that zone. And after that, it's anyone's guess. You can see the big white marks of chalk. So I guess some kind of like a layback push kind of thing there.
Yeah, again, like the men's third boulder was that weird off-width balancy one, and so they're finishing on a power boulder, and you can see there he's in a double shoulder. Needs to do, I think, basically a hand-foot match, jump to the left, and then swing his feet.
The MCs are counting them down. I guess that's the clock. It's disappeared momentarily for us.
Here we go, our last attempts.
That looks so good now.
What's she gonna do? Go for the toe hook method again. Maybe bring her right hand off, or just jump into it a little bit more. That's tricky. Goes for the little foot.
Yeah, so no top for her, but
Yen's got it though. It's the jump and toe hook actually. Unable to do that.
yeah, it's a big ask for the men. It's a very powerful boulder after a full set. Right, so their comp is done. They'll get to watch the rest of the athletes compete now. Let's see a replay. This is as close as he came. It slapped that bit of chalk, but way off making it stick. So next up is Alana Yip and Sergio Verdasco, and Sergio is in the running for a podium here, and he could be in the running for the win, possibly.
Yeah. If Sergio can top this boulder, then he's gonna put pressure on everyone else with 2 tops to also top the boulder, and it'll be a pressure on Sam to actually only get the zone, and then we're gonna be in that fall territory, or the tries, which I didn't memorize, so I couldn't tell you.
That's all right, we'll forgive you on that one.
All right, let's see Alana on this. Sergio's doing good though.
And it's difficult with a swing like that because you've got nothing to really kick off. She's just using the swing.
Fully swinging. And she just missed actually the feet that time, so she'll have to readjust and actually maybe go into the jump a little bit hotter so that your feet are more swinging, so you can really conserve that momentum.
Here she goes again. Does use the wall a little bit this time. Now finds a better swing. Very blind, that hold. It's obvious for us on TV because we're looking at it. For her, slightly around the corner.
Anna also has a degree in engineering, so she for sure is going over all those formulas in her head. She knows exactly what she needs to do. She's just trying to get her body to do it.
There's a lot of engineers and people like that in climbing. I was quite surprised when I first started, like a lot of technical people.
Yeah, she's built race cars with her dad. Getting closer.
Yeah, she's got the range now, hasn't she? That was a bit of a smile there as she touched it. Sergio powering through. It's font-style boulder, really. Big slopers, and he's got that left hand. That was skin or right pec causing him issues.
There we go. The left hand on the arete too. I think she should. I was gonna say jump into this, but hopefully she can make it work this way.
Releasing that left toe is hard in this position.
Oh, there you go, at the same time. How's this last move? Oh, heel look, no? Oh, I don't even need the heel look, nice.
Well, Alana finishes things off well. So good to see her in that kind of form.
So yeah, I think it was about 4, maybe 5 tries, which means that Stasha is going to have to complete the boulder, but she has at least 5 tries.
Okay, so a bit of breathing room for her. This was the final move, got the heel in, and a big celebration at the top for Alana Yip. And that will give her a lot of confidence coming into the next couple of competitions. Sergio rests as the minute marker comes up. A lot of appreciation for Alana on the chat. Do let us know when you see an athlete do something that you really appreciate. They'll read back through these comments and I'm sure they'll love reading those. So slopers all the way now. Oh, drops the pinky, gets it back on, full palm. Almost a knee under there. Right, well, let's see the second half of this boulder then. We haven't really watched this.
The heel look. Yeah, I thought that was a toe hook for sure. Oh, I should have gotten this toe. Didn't have the reach. He really needed to put in a toe hook there.
Now he's just put on liquid chalk. He's got 20 seconds to go. It should dry in time. He's having to work at it a bit though. 14 seconds. Remember, he's got to be pulled on the wall, off the ground before that clock ticks down. 10 seconds. Waves to the crowd as he gets going with 5 seconds to go. And he's off. This is his last attempt on this boulder, and there is no stopping on this one. Powering out, I think.
Well, good effort though. He did get the zone on the last one, which means that Hannes and Nimrod both have to get zone in order to pass him or stay at equal. And again, I don't remember the tries there.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to pull up the score, in fact, so we can have a little look at it.
It's hard when it's so close like this, unless you have the scores in front of you. It's quite hard to remember who has to do what when it comes to tries. But I do know that Stasha was ahead by Valana by a few tries. I think like 4. We're lucky. We do actually get to see scores in front of us. We're just going to be able to pull that up.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. I just clicked on the wrong button. Right, Camilla swinging to get this powerful boulder underway.
Oh.
And Hannes van Dyssen will want to finish on a high in front of his home crowd. Right, Camilla swings, not using the wall like Alana did, just generating that from her hips and body.
She was a lot better on that try too, because the try before, she actually didn't try to go to the corner with her left hand. She had both of her hands kind of going toward that zone, and so I think she realized that she's going to have to go to the zone and grab the corner of the wall with her left hand.
Off she goes again, touches the markers with both feet, can immediately drop them. Starts to swing, touched it that time. Now, so far, everyone who's touched it has got it next go. Hannes starts to thug his way left. .2:30 on the clock. DJ ramps things up a little bit as the light show continues flickering around this wonderful gym. Camilla swinging. Launches, and there we go, I cursed her. Touched it but didn't make it stick. Sorry. Hannes is having a long look at the second half of this boulder. Trying to work out the toes or the heels for later, perhaps. Camilla is back on. Again, not quite getting her hips quite far back from the wall when she lands. Hannes in the classic climber's pose there, looking up at the wall, shaking his hands down. He comes into the bottom of the cave. Camilla again throws herself upwards.
Her tries are getting better and better. It's cool to see her do it. And now we can figure out if she's going to do the jump or the toe hook. Or just an easy cross through. Actually, probably did that the nicest I've seen.
Yeah, different method.
And then, is she going to put her heel in or just go up like Alana did? Just straight up, pinch, heel hook, finish.
Ah, brilliant from Camilla.
That'll actually move her into second place. We still obviously have Stasha. Stasha with a zone would knock Camilla to third place, and Stasha has actually 7 tries to get the top for the win. Also depending on what Lisa does.
Interesting to see how Camilla sort of ramped things up throughout the competition. She didn't get any tops on the first 2 boulders, and the flash on number 3 seemed to kick her into gear. Just got boulder 4 down as well.
So obviously Stasha is second last, and then Lisa is last, but Lisa can also win this competition. It just depends if Stasha does the last boulder and how many tries she does it in. If Stasha does the boulder in 3 tries or less, then Lisa will be playing for second place.
All right, well there we go. 3 athletes to go. A little bit of a pause here. Hannes is waiting. He's got 6 seconds. Let's see if he's managed to get some power back into those shoulders, up into the slopers. The skin will be hurting at this point in a comp. Swinging, nearly dropped it, keeps on the wall.
It's a hard boulder to finish too. So powerful.
Oh, he's leaving nothing behind here. Out with the left, just misses it. All right, 3 athletes to go. Let's look at the scores. Alana Yip, first position, as Sean was saying, but then things get very interesting. Camilla Moroni, Stashigeo, Lisa, all in contention for that top spot. What a way to finish the competition. It's exciting. The men, Sam Mavizu is out in front on the mats in a minute after Nimrod.
So yeah, with Nimrod up right now, if Nimrod does not get a top, Sam actually gets a free 4+ minutes to do whatever he wants and he wins, which is a special place in bouldering competition. But yeah, we'll see how Nimrod gets on this boulder.
Yeah, he won't know that though. He won't know it's his victory lap. All that.
Funny enough, like, he probably will.
Okay.
He most likely knows he's the only one to do 3. And so he knows that these have to do the last boulder. I mean, it's hard. We don't know if they're actually getting access to the results in between rounds. In World Cups, you're shown the results in between rounds. So Sam would have actually known, okay, if no one does the last boulder, he kind of knows no one's done the last boulder yet. But it's, yeah, still.
Yeah, he'll have an idea of what he's got to do. But it depends on that man, Nimrod, and he takes a sort of big fall down. That is Lynn van der Meer. Misses the jump to the right. Quite reachy, that men's boulder, as a few people have pointed out.
Yeah, I also think it's just hard because they've been competing now for what, almost 2 hours, and after that, you know, you go in, you go out, you have to do this like super powerful boulder. It's hard.
Yeah, it is difficult. So last couple of athletes though. After this, there will be the award ceremony, and Sean will be going down onto the mats to interview the winner. We haven't finished yet as Nimrod comes up to the slopers. Can he control the swing this time? Does, way better from him. Now brings the right in. And this is where things get really difficult. This smash out to the left. Hits the mark, but not in the best place. I think it gets better the further on that you go. Lynn meanwhile is looking at that. I always wonder why athletes aren't allowed to tick boulders. Like if they remove the tick mark between rounds. I don't know the reasons behind it. I guess it's just to make everything sort of like straightforward and simple.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I'm sure it has something to do with cheating.
Yeah, as a lot of rules are. Yeah, it's a very good point. All right, Lynn turns around.
Exactly the same way as those are really, really nice. Same as Camilla.
But this last move isn't the easiest. It's a long way to go. And she's tall. You can see how far it is. Almost a full body length. She goes up.
Sticks it.
Well, that will please her and her home crowd. Lynn finishes things off well. Right, Nimrod will have a big play on how the rest of this competition pulls out, but no one has really come close to this boulder yet.
No, the closest we saw, I think, was maybe Hannes, who got out past the zone, tried to heel hook, and
yeah, it should have got a toe maybe, but put the heel in.
But again, you still have like 2-3 more moves left.
I think it was Sergio.
Yeah, maybe Sergio, yeah. Someone definitely got out there though.
So we know the zone at least is gettable. Marcus has 16 seconds. Hasn't looked too close so far, just not quite getting the snatch to the left.
Gonna need some sort of miracle for Nimrod to do this boulder, but...
Right, off he goes.
Go.
Look how bad that hole is, it's horrible. Yeah, burning out there from Nimrod, but he gave it everything. Yeah, if people are asking it, Sean McColl is sitting next to me. He's injured, sadly not competing, but how wonderful has his insight's been. And it has been genuinely fascinating, Sean. Honestly, like you've said things I've never heard someone say in a competition. It's really good.
Oh, that's good.
The fiberglass down jump thing is, I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah. And if you ever see them jumping to non-fiberglass or non-wood, you like give them crap.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'll tell him. Not which I have any impact, but I'll have a go. Right, Sam Abazu is, well,
Winner. He already won.
So this is his victory lap here, and we know he's good at these powerful moves.
It would be nice for him to obviously top this boulder, to finish with 4, and I'm sure he'll try everything. Looking strong through these moves too.
He's so good at this kind of climbing. Well, there we go, easy from him at the moment. And he gets the toe.
Yeah, toe here. And then you have to move your feet and then press to the finish.
Come on,
Well,
Sam.
undercling to move the feet.
I want to see a
Interesting.
flash with this so much. Come on. You've
Cross
won
the
it
finish?
anyway. Oh my God. So close to the flash. And Stasha, though. Now, this is important for Stasha. Up she goes.
Oh, there
She's
we
on a
go.
flash attempt. And that is her winning. You
That is
think?
her, yeah.
Yeah.
Stasha just won it for the women, actually. It was the first or second try, so. Big win for Stasha.
Yeah, and I think she might know it by now as well. She gets a hug straight away. She does know. Well, still interesting climbing going for both Sam and Stasha. Oh, not Sam. Sam came close. Stasha got it done on the flash, and that puts her into the lead. And as we know, of course, Sam has
So
won
it was
already.
a flash to Stasha, which means that obviously our last climber, Lisa, can move up to 2nd place. And let's run through these numbers. We do have them open in front of us. So Lisa does have 3 tries to complete the boulder. And then it just depends if she does the zone first try or not. Then she technically could have 4 tries to do the boulder.
But can't we talk about 2nd place here?
And that'll be to 2nd place, yeah. Lisa unfortunately cannot win. Stasha has secured that with 3 flashes, actually. And on that last boulder to flash it, especially with the swing, is probably the hardest boulder to flash.
Yeah, really impressive from Stasha. Well, she takes victory. Meanwhile, Sam almost got a flash. You kind of back him to get it next go if he hasn't burnt himself out. But he's got a lot of time to rest. And coming that close, I think he'll wind down the clock here a bit. Wait till he's really ready to go. Sam, 3 out of 3 at the moment. Will he make it? 4 out of 4. Flash the first boulder. 3 attempts on the second one. 3 on the third. And he's on his 2nd here on boulder number 4. So only a few minutes left of our competition here. Interesting semi-finals yesterday. Really good finals tonight. I've enjoyed every second of this. And Sam is just running down that clock, making sure he's chalked up and ready and rested. That toe made all the difference, didn't it? On the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah,
hole.
it was crazy. I mean, you could tell just from the beginning, through the moves even up into the zone. He looked super strong. He was really high on all the holds, and he got the toe hook, did the next 2 moves, flipped down into the undercling, and I'm curious what they had in mind for the last move. Maybe it's a press off of the right arm, but he tried to go up with his right arm, and he'll know if it goes by basically the way that he fell. And so if he tries it again, it means that he knows that it's good enough, and if he tries to readjust, it's because that hold was not good enough, and then he'll try to go with his left hand.
And he really has run the clock down. He was on minute 40 when he started resting. So it'll only be his 2nd try on the boulder. 12 seconds to go. Here goes Sam. Up Sam goes. Make that move look easy. Brings the right in. There goes the timer. Oh, he slips with the left. Well, he waited
That's
a long
hard.
time, but it's still a victory for Sam Abazu. With
He
Mark
rested
Brand.
3 minutes too, so like his skin was okay, and that's just a hard boulder, you guys.
Yeah, no one topping it out so far. Him coming the closest. Mark Brand is up next, followed by Lisa Clem. And although they can't win, they can, well, Mark can't make an impact on the podium.
No, not the podium. Did Nimrod get zone? I forget. He did. I'm pretty sure he did get zone.
Yeah, it hasn't been awarded in our school. Oh yeah, there we go. Updated, yeah.
So Mark can move into 4th place, I believe. Unfortunately, can't get on the podium, but yeah, all eyes on Lisa now.
Yeah, Lisa could still get 2nd place. She starts the swing. She's got the reach to kick off that volume. Oh, and straight into it.
Might be a flasher, you guys. Come on.
All right, this is massive for the podium.
This is the hard way to do it. And she does it. I hope she gets this last move.
This is going to push Camilla off the podium if she can get it. Eyes it up. It's a long way though, but it's good if you can get it.
Oh, and she hesitates. She was almost going to go for that heel.
She's trying to get a knee.
She's going to rest now.
Has a good knee bar to spot that, but it hasn't taken a lot off the left.
Yeah, just needs to just get up there, just commit to this move. Oh no, she falls.
I think if she hadn't hesitated, she would have had the power to get through there. So now she can rest and have a go. We update the scores here. Camilla Moroni will be watching nervously.
Oh, she does have another 3 tries, and if she can get it in the next 3 tries, she'll actually move into 2nd place.
Yeah, well, that zone has pushed Camilla out of the top 3, so Lisa is guaranteed a medal.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
Will it be silver or bronze? That was how close she came to the silver. She's still got time. Mark, one of the taller athletes here, so anyone who thought the boulder might be reachy, it won't be a problem for him, certainly if it is a reachy boulder. And that's blowing the holes, as Sean told us earlier, you can't brush them, can't jump and brush them.
Jump and brush.
He brings the right hand up, nearly loses it, keeps it together, gets a heel, a back heel on that.
It's a big move. Oh, and it actually looked like he almost got high enough, but even just to get through those first moves, get to the zone, get off the zone is, as we saw, like extremely powerful.
So Mark throws the brush down, had a long look at his skin on the right hand. Meanwhile, Lisa takes her time,
actually.
I can't believe how easily she did that first move.
Yeah, and to flash it like that.
I mean, look, there is for sure an element of luck with a jump like that sometimes, but having said that, how good she is at flashing boulders.
Yeah.
Starts the kick in order to kick off the wall. There, finds the wall. Oh, had it, but dropped it a bit high on the hold. And Melissa is fighting for a silver medal here. She's already got the bronze. Points means prize money, so it's all to play for. Kicks back.
Oh, misses that hold. It's almost like she's swinging too much, but yeah, she is just missing that zone hold a little bit.
So Lisa goes again.
Oh, this is the try. This is her last try and her last attempt to try to get into that 2nd position. Gets to the last move. It's gonna be a nail biter.
Yeah, this is it. This is for the silver medal.
Strong.
We've run out of time. It's all about this move. No!
Oh, and she tried to go up with a heel because the first try just didn't really work for her, but unable. She walks away with a bronze medal. So
yeah, and that is so impressive considering her lack of experience with comps of this size against these competitors. That is a fantastic bronze medal for her, and what a semi-final yesterday. She'll remember that for a long, long time. And there we go. So Stasha, 3 flashes on her way to a gold medal. Just that boulder number 2. But Alana, look how close she came. 3 tops as well. Same amount of zones, but it came down to attempts between those 2 women. And then Lisa, battling for that silver medal, gets the bronze. And honestly, that is such an impressive performance from her. Remember, 4 flashes out of 4 yesterday in the semi-finals. Camilla Moroni. After that, Lynn Vandermeer, Jenya Kazbekova finishing things off down at the bottom of the leaderboard. So that is our podium places. That's what's confirmed here at Dockmasters 2023. Meanwhile, let's have a look at the men's. Pop up in a couple of seconds. Sam Avazu, what a performance from him. That flash on boulder 1 shows his intent. 3 attempts on boulder 2, 3 on Boulder 3, but no one in that field finishing off that difficult Boulder 4. Behind him, Sergio Verdasco, Nimrod Marcus finishing off the podium. Hannes van Dyson, Mark Brand, and Jens de Loo after that. We're almost time to sign off here. And while Sean comes up, once again, I'm going to shout out our sponsors. NKBV, the co-organiser. La Sportiva, our main sponsor here today. Axis, Unit Hold, Unleash Climbing, Ibex Holds, Virgin Grip, X-Cult, Contact, Elevation Climbing, Fabricio Fibric, Climb Lab, The Circuit Climbing, App Climbing, and I've never pronounced this correctly, I do apologise, Bizonder Buten, for making up our final sponsors. Well, I think Sean is going to come and say goodbye. He is going to come and say goodbye, and then we'll leave you to the capable hands of our MC. Sean, lovely interview there. Both of them super happy to be winning, obviously.
It's funny. I don't really know what to ask, but I know that sometimes when I get interviewed, I want them to ask a question where I actually have to think about it. And so yeah, it was interesting, and I think they both appreciate the questions, but it was really fun.
Brilliant interview. Well, we're going to sign off now and let our winners get their well-deserved adulation. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Matt Groom. This is Sean McColl in the commentary box. Thank you everyone at home for joining us in the comments, and we will see you hopefully next year.
Yeah, thank you so much, and yeah, thanks for doing this. It was a blast. Hopefully do it again.
All right, everyone. That's it from us. See you later. Enjoy the end of the competition.
Well earned. Yep, give him one. And then on the first place, from France, in a fantastic last boulder, Sama Vizou. Yep. And once more with feeling. Congratulations.
Doc Masters 2023.
We see our winners here.
All different nationalities. Great to see. Thank you. And now, on to the women. Are you ready? Ja, natuurlijk gewoon in het Nederlands. Op de derde plek, Lisa Klein! Van harte gefeliciteerd. Ja, daar nemen we gewoon de tijd voor. Dat mag, dat is gewoon verdiend.
Ja,
Dus,
hij gaat nog wel even door. Kom op, Lisa! Ja, daar zijn we gewoon een beetje trots op.
Zeker, Nederlandse trots. En dan gaan we door. On the second place, all the way from Canada, Alana Yip!
Ja. Congrats, Alana.
Great performance. And on the first place, ladies and gents, from Doc Masters Finals 2023, Stasha Gale!